job. He's been city administrator now in Clinton for 13 years.
Israel extended a deadline for Palestinian leaders to stop the bloodshed in the Middle East today. Palestinians have been demonstrating with stones and firebombs at Israeli troops. Much of the fighting was centered in Israel, and President Clinton is still working hard to keep the peace efforts from falling apart. The violence in the Middle East may seem a world away for most of us, but for some Quad Cityans, it's hitting too close to home. Today, we spoke with local Jewish and Palestinian leaders who are holding out hope there is a way to end the violence and finally achieve a lasting peace.
After 12 days of violence that has claimed more than 80 lives, peace in the Middle East seems a long way off. But in spite of the fighting, Rabbi Alan Shavit Lowenstein of the Tri-City Jewish Center does not feel it will put an end to years of peace negotiations. Instead, he sees this as only a temporary setback.
There is concern. There is very deep concern, and I think everyone there and here that cannot do something about it, which is most of us, I think everyone here is holding our breath and waiting. I don't see and I don't know people there who use the word war.
Shavit Lowenstein is keeping a close eye on the situation in Jerusalem, as is John DeBeat. He's a Palestinian-American who lives in Muscatine. DeBeat is very critical of the Israeli military condemning the killing of Palestinian children. But he says now is the time for both sides to put aside their differences and sit down and talk.
And we're hoping that, of course, both sides will somehow sit and think and work some sort of a deal where that both sides could go back to the peace table and peace negotiation and solve their differences there. Violence will create more violence, and for that reason we believe that peace will be the answer.
Rabbi Shavit Lowenstein does not think the fighting in the Middle East will erode Jewish-Palestinian relations in the U.S. He says both groups have made a lot of progress in the last few years, and he doesn't think the violence in Jerusalem will change that.
The foundation has been